this episode because she got explosive diarrhea at the last minute. Maybe.
Whoa.
Oh, hi, Becca. Glad to see you're back. I was just
From your explosive diarrhea.
I was just conspiracizing about why you might not be here.
Well, you better get on your tinfoil hat, because it's conspiracy time.
Would have been better if you were wearing tinfoil.
Under my hat, there's tinfoil hat.
Yeah, and then you take it off and you got fucking
There's another
gashes.
tinfoil hat.
I was gonna say gashes all in your head.
Cut my head all up.
That'd be disgusting.
That's what I thought you were going to say. You were afraid of making a whole tinfoil roll of a hat.
No.
Just that it'd cut you all up on your scalp.
I would try and keep it pretty loose.
How do you think I cut my hair? I tried to make a tinfoil hat and just
Way wrong.
sliced off all my
That's
hair.
why Dr. Phil's head looks like that, too.
That explains a lot about Dr. Phil, actually. So how's everybody doing today?
Not too bad.
Doing good.
We tried to film this episode twice already.
Yeah.
Hey, no behind
It's
the
not meant
scenes.
to be.
It hasn't worked out either time.
Not to be a conspiracy theorist, but I don't think it's meant to be. I think there's greater forces at work here.
Shane said the government is after us.
I believe
agree.
it. But is it the American government?
Oh, it's definitely
all
the
of 'em.
Russians. It's always the Russians. You good?
Okay, I think we get it, bro.
Do the Seinfeld theme.
I was being the background music.
Clearly.
How's that working for you?
I mean, it was working pretty good until you interrupted me.
Let me know down in the comments
now
if you
the
like
score.
this human background
Now the
music.
score is gone.
We'll
It's
just
just
call
people
it-
talking.
We'll just call it ZBS, and Eric will just be here the whole time. It's
like Seinfeld.
Yeah, I was going to say ZBS featuring the Seinfeld intro. So, hopefully everyone's doing good besides...
You know who you are.
That's not what I was going to say, but... besides having to reschedule twice, but I'm glad we're able to actually get it in today, and
Yeah.
hopefully everything goes well. Hopefully you guys enjoy.
a little early morning EZBS today.
Yeah.
Doing a little earlier than
The
we
E
usually
stands
do.
for early.
Early.
The
ZBS
Z
early in the morning.
stands for I want to be asleep.
And then bullshit, like always.
Yeah, because that's how we operate.
It's early. I want to go to sleep. This is bullshit.
Welcome to the show.
See, and that's when it goes back into the booms. We do that again. It's the second intro.
Yeah. Let's not encourage Eric. Okay. So today we're going to be talking about conspiracy theories.
Yeah, and a lot of
Or
them.
at least I hope so, because
A
Becca's
lot.
in the spirit.
I'm ready.
Been in the
I
spirit.
should have. I
We've
should
all been in
have
the
won that
spirit.
card when we did Who's Most Likely, but I've managed to talk my way out of it.
Yeah, now she's talked her way back into it.
That's what it's about, is talking out of it. So I think Shane should start.
Yeah.
Would you like to
so
start,
It's been
Shane?
2 weeks and
I
I
don't
know he
know.
has no idea what he's doing.
Eric and
I
I
mean,
also
it's-
have quite a few, so
Yeah,
I
right,
figured
I got a
that
lot.
Zach and Shane should go first.
I have-
Okay, we can go
You have the
first, because
least
yeah,
amount.
me and Shane probably have the least.
I was like,
And
I
then
have stuff on my
If
phone
you
about
have
it.
something that like relates to my encyclopedia I got from the library, I can look it up too. It has
Nice.
conspiracies
I
and
doubt it.
conspiracy theories.
I mean, I'm sure all of ours are in there in
Which-
some way or another.
I'm sorry, what's the difference between
Not all of
like
us.
just proven conspiracies as in
Yes.
governments actually did these things?
Which I didn't realize at first. So when I was first reading through this book, there was a conspiracy about Kmart, how like their higher up people were like stealing money from the company, and I was like, this is all fact. How is this a theory? And then I looked at the front of the book and I was like,
Because it's just a conspiracy.
Because it's a conspiracy. It's not a theory. So then I understood.
What's the difference between a conspiracy and a conspiracy theory?
Conspiracies are like
theory
proven.
is,
Yeah, it's a group.
Theories-
Theory is a
like
theory. A
this is
conspiracy
something
is-
being plotted.
Gotcha.
Yeah, the
gotcha.
conspiracy is
The
a group of
conspiracy is
people.
proven. The conspiracy theory is what they're trying to
Yeah,
do.
like
Because a conspiracy
Watergate
is a group of people
was a
working together to
conspiracy.
achieve
Okay,
a
that
hidden
makes sense.
goal, basically.
Yeah.
They're conspiring to do something.
That makes sense. I
So
get
the
it
theory
now.
is you're saying there's a group of people that did something and are hiding the fact that they did it.
Yeah. So like there's There's like Watergates in here, and like
Al Qaeda
and stuff.
Oh, wow,
so that's going to be conspiracies.
We
and
won't be
then
hitting that
conspiracy
topic today.
I'm assuming that's about
and hopefully
the
that topic
American
won't be
funding
hitting
of
us
it?
today.
That's why
no,
we're
I
not
think that's
doing it.
just about the Al Qaeda.
Oh, really?
I think so. Yeah, it's just about the Al Qaeda.
The Al Qaeda?
I would
The Al
think so,
Qaeda.
yeah.
Not one of the many.
The organization known as Al Qaeda.
The Al
The
Qaeda.
organization
base.
formerly
that
known
stands
as
for
Al
the
Qaeda.
base in Arabic. You learn something new every day. That's your Al Qaeda fact of the day.
The base? What kind of base?
Um,
BASS?
Yeah.
No, it's a baseball base.
'Cause
I know we all wanted
about
that VA.
Al Qaeda, about that
You remember in the
Al-Qaeda.
Twilight movie when they're all playing baseball? The first base was Al Qaeda. That's why I'm Team Jacob. But anyway,
It's a weird and dark joke kind of at the same time.
okay, let's get into
Okay,
some
Shane, go
conspiracy
ahead.
theories.
Okay. So back in 2008,
The
back
back
rack.
rack.
it's a bit early for that. Back in 2008, there was a body of a 24-year-old real estate agent found inside of a house.
Oh, that's
Was
usually
the
where
house-
real estate agents are at, right?
Is the house for sale?
It was for sale.
Oh, were they selling it?
She was the real estate person that was trying to help get rid of the house.
Oh my god.
Get rid of it?
Trying to sell it to people.
Oh, okay.
Order now, and
So
I'll even
probably
throw in a
be
set
pretty
of
easy to just
bodies.
Get rid of a house.
Her name was Lindsay Buzaik. I believe that's how it's pronounced. And so it was like a couple days before she had gotten a call on her personal cell phone from someone with a thick accent, Hispanic accent is what she said she thought it was. And this was in British Columbia. So someone with a thick Hispanic accent called her on her personal cell phone and was like, hey, my husband got a new job. We need to get a house. Our budget is $1 million and we need it right away because he just got a new job. She was hesitant to take it. And her boyfriend, kind of talked to her about it. And eventually they're like, you know what? We'll take it. So they discussed it. She talked to the people, found him a couple spots and was like, let's meet at this house at this time to go through it and do stuff. And her boyfriend was like, since you're not feeling comfortable, I can, be there for you to help you do it instead or whatever. And she's like, no, I want to do it. You don't need to do it. So he's like, I'll still be there so that I'm there for backup or whatever.
Yeah, that sounds like a good idea.
So she's on her way. He calls her and says, hey, I'm having to go pick up a friend, but I'll be right there. She's like, okay, I'm here right now. And she's like, oh, they just showed up. I need to go. So she hangs up on him and goes inside the house. Couple, probably 20 minutes or so later, boyfriend pulls up at the house with his friend and sees a guy standing in the front doorway through the window. And he's like, okay, well, I'm going to go around the block. So he goes around the block, comes back. They wait a
Why
little
did he
bit.
go
Why would
around
he
the
go
block?
around the block? Why wouldn't he?
That's not shady.
Like, if
It's,
he didn't know that maybe
Yeah, that
These
his
people were
girlfriend was-
dangerous.
He's like,
Yes.
well, he's like waiting for her to get done and everything. So he's like,
okay, so he was
Waiting
just
just,
didn't
around.
want her to get mad that he felt
Yeah,
the
he's
need
getting
to
in the
come
way
up
and stuff.
and-
So he's waiting
so
around.
he was just
That
kind
makes
of in the background, just in case.
He was just making sure,
Okay,
but he thought everything might be still good.
yeah.
So they go back to the house. It's been a little bit. She hasn't even read his text saying that he's on his way there or whatever. They end up going to the door and it's still locked. They can't get in. So his friend jumps the fence, goes around the back, finds a way in, comes and unlocks the door. They run inside and her boyfriend runs straight upstairs and finds her body lying in the ground, covered, pool of blood, multiple stab wounds.
How did he know to go straight upstairs?
Because he did it. That's a conspiracy, I think.
Well, the conspiracy is that either his family did it because he came from a very wealthy family that was in the real estate business and was friends with people who had been in trouble in British Columbia for basically money laundering sort of stuff.
So she probably knew.
But also, the theory is that his family, for some reason, wanted her gone, whether it was they didn't like her, he was a part of it, and that's why he was late, because he had to pick up his friend. He was like, oh, well, I have something to do, so he purposefully showed up late. But also, because they had her personal cell phone number is part of the reason why people think that it could have been his family was because
Oh yeah, because they called her.
they called her on her
Oh.
personal number, and when she asked why, they were like, "Oh, well, it was a former client of yours that gave it to me." But when she called around all her previous clients to like thank them and be like, "Hey, thank you for recommending me," all of them said, "No, I haven't given anyone your number. I don't know anyone that's looking for something
Okay,
right now."
that is shady.
Interesting.
You know what I'm thinking
And-
right now? What we should do at a later date? Tell us if you like this idea. We should do Easy BSTC.
TC.
Yeah, true crime.
I think that's basically what this is.
Yeah, I know, but some kids.
It could be
This right now is
going more
This is all conspiracies, but we could do like
the whole episode where it's true crimes instead
yeah,
of
and it's all
Oh, no.
we could do
conspiracies.
salt
spin-off podcast.
Is it BSTC?
Just see how many letters we can add in.
Well, we have Thomas, so we have the T. We just need
And Chris.
mom. Yeah, we just or Chris, cousin
Yeah,
Chris.
we'll just go.
Either way,
Every
it's
single
Chris.
episode.
Whether
It'll
it's
be
mom
like
or
the word
cousin.
this week is murder again.
Let's just start a murder pod.
Where we
Murder
murder
pod?
people in a pod.
Yeah. Well, I already do that, so.
Well, I mean, once I get murdered, I want to go in a pod. There's a whole video
It's-
about that.
Yeah, yeah,
Anyway,
yeah. Watch it. It's good.
It was pretty interesting. Not to interrupt. Sorry.
little,
Yeah,
little
go on,
Again,
Shane. Go
interrupt
on.
again.
but not as dark as it probably is in the pod. Continue.
But also, one of Lindsay's friends has claimed that she got a call from someone with a thick Hispanic accent, and the person hung up right away. And when she called back like 20 times, according to her, she said she called back multiple times, and eventually someone picked up, and it was the boyfriend's mom.
No.
And she was like, "Oh, why are you calling?" and stuff. And she was like, "This number called me first."
That's weird.
So
Okay, I don't even
don't-
think this is a theory. This
I don't
gotta be
know,
true.
and that's Lindsay's father also is a proponent of they are involved with it somehow, and he has hired like private detectives and stuff because it's
When
still
was
an
this?
ongoing. It was 2008,
Oh wow.
and it's
Oh, wow.
British Columbia still has it as an open case and is working on trying to find stuff with it.
Oh my god, we should go to British Columbia, Easy BSBC, and we can solve it.
TCBC.
I don't have a passport.
TCBC. We'll just do all British Columbian crimes.
This is such a good idea.
But there's
Okay, we need to find another. We need to find another B and another C.
Columbia.
BCDC dung dung.
This is the Canadians. This is their story.
This is their story, eh?
Dun, 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 dun. But Eric can do the background music. Yeah.
the other theory. When police searched like her laptop and stuff, they were going through like her friends and her contacts and stuff, and
Why'd they go through her contacts? They think that it wasn't on her glasses.
I knew where that joke was going. They said her activity, she was fairly active on social media, and for some reason, the like week after she got the call or whatever, her social media presence was completely zero activity. She never got on, never did anything just to check on people. And through her friends list, there was multiple like convicted criminals. And so one
I
theory
think she might have gotten involved in some
one theory is that she might have had a friend or something that was involved and told her something, or she was with them and saw something she wasn't supposed to, and they sent some people, contacted her, got her to a secluded house that was not owned, so there was no way that anyone would be there, and killed her and then ran off.
I want to know who owns that house now.
It was a friend of the boyfriend's family. Was
No.
one of the was like the owner of it. He was the owner of the property.
No, but
This
I mean
was-
now. Who owns it now?
Now
They
I
have
don't
to
know.
sell it
I
after
don't.
Somebody
I don't know. It's some
brutally
guy
got
with a thick
murdered
Hispanic
outside.
accent. Weird.
I'm pretty sure you have to say if somebody was murdered in a house when you sell it. So
I don't think so.
It was a well-known crime in the area, so
You
it
do?
was.
You don't with apartments.
Have to say.
So even if they didn't say it, most people,
As far as I know, you don't with
at least in
apartments.
the area, would have known about this happening in that house.
well, the thing is,
But she wore like a very distinctive dress, but somehow they've still never found the woman that like did this. And they it was like a burner phone that only made one call, and it was to her cell phone, and then a second burner phone that they used to check the voicemail on that phone. And those were the only two things that happened. Was one phone to call her, and that was the only call it ever made, and another phone to check the voicemail of that first phone.
interesting.
So then, if they had a burner phone to call her, why would they call the friend on the personal cell phone? That's stupid.
I don't know if it was an accidental call or if the friend was just lying. Like, I don't know. Because this is all just the friend's word against the mom. Because the mom said this never happened, and the friend said she called me. So it could just
I'm
be.
more inclined to say that it did never happen.
It could just be the friend trying to come up with stuff
Something
to cause
to
the
connect
cops
to-
to
Yeah, to look
want to
into
look
that.
into her more.
Yeah.
Because obviously the father is a big proponent of that. So I'm sure her close friends probably talk to him and probably agree with that.
But to
That they're in some way
to say
involved.
that the person was smart enough to use a burner phone, not just to call the lady, but also to check the voicemail on the one or whatever. But then, like, why would the mom accidentally have, or why would the mom even have the phone number of the friend of the lady that they were going to kill and
That's true.
accidentally?
Because she
call-
was, I mean, she very easily could have been a friend of the boyfriend's as well. It's not like most people don't have friends that are only friends with them.
Still weird
Yeah.
though.
I mean, yeah, it's still weird that the
I'm not
mom
saying that
would
the
have
call
the phone
actually
number.
happened, but
Yeah, I'm more inclined to say that that never happened because that seems a little far fetched.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I definitely think I lean more towards the boyfriend's family being involved than like her being involved with some sort of criminal thing, because like if she was somebody that what's it called? I already forgot.
a
Died?
witness?
No. Person that sells houses.
Realtor?
If she was a realtor, a real estate agent, like she could rent out to, or like she could sell to people that have like a criminal background, and usually
That's
I know real estate agents tend to like friend people that they've sold houses to on Facebook.
I do believe that she had actual friends that were, though. That, like, people she hung out with were known
Okay.
to have.
Okay.
And like I said, even the boyfriend's family, it was more of a white-collar crime. But they did have connections to people that did crimes and stuff and was, like, arrested for it. So,
Such a funny phrase. Like the turn of phrase, they did crimes.
I did crime once.
committed crimes.
I've done crimes. It just seems like spitting it out just seems weird.
Lived a life of crime.
See, that doesn't sound as weird as I did crimes.
It's an interesting theory, though.
Yeah.
Mhm.
That's crazy that it didn't happen.
I've never heard of this
All
one.
that
So
long ago.
nobody got arrested or anything?
Not yet.
No one has been arrested now.
Wow.
And he's hired private detectives and it's still like an ongoing thing.
I'm just saying, let's go to British Columbia.
And he does like I believe he does a walk every year to like raise money to try and help keep the case active and people searching and stuff.
Interesting.
That's good.
Hmm.
Well, if you ever see any updates on that,
Yeah, and it
definitely
was-
let us know.
The
Yeah,
like
right.
phone call came from like the location that they called from was like on a
Outside the
ferry coming across the water to the area. So they think they came specifically to do that act probably.
To do crime.
To do, yeah, they came specifically to do
Specifically
a crime.
to do crime.
And they ran out the back door of the house. So they think that they probably saw the boyfriend's car
Backdoor.
and then realized someone was coming up and sprinted out the back door.
Yeah, that would make sense because if the dude was standing in the, you said the dude was standing in the front doorway. When
He
the
was by-
boyfriend-
he saw him in
front
the-
doorway though after he just killed somebody.
Maybe he didn't.
People
kill
thought
her
they were
yet.
going to walk out the front door because their car was not in the area. So they parked a little bit away.
You know, not to be a
She was
conspiracy
upstairs,
theorist,
right?
Correct.
but maybe he was standing in the doorway so that the boyfriend or thank you, the boyfriend
The
or
other person,
whatever
killer,
could
keep a
tell
watch
that
out.
it was already done.
Yeah.
Because that's why he drove around the block. He was waiting for.
Oh, good point.
It was
Oh.
like
right. I didn't
pull
even
up,
think
and if you
about
see me
that.
in the doorway, then it means that
yeah,
we're
it's
done.
done. Yeah, drive around one
So
more time.
drive around one more
come
time.
in.
Let me get time to leave,
Yeah.
and then you can
That-
come in. And
That makes sense.
That's what I
That
first
also
thought when
pretty-
I heard
yeah,
that he was standing in the
kinda
doorway.
seals stuff a little bit more than.
Yeah, because I mean, obviously, you wouldn't want to call while he's still in the area or whatever. If they're both together in it,
Yeah.
you would want to know that it's all done. You are able to have time to leave, and then I can go in and know where to go. And
Especially if he's got a buddy that's not involved.
yeah,
Yeah.
maybe something to think about.
Interesting.
For the record, though, if you don't have to be disclosed if you buy a house that somebody died in there, unless you ask. In every state, if you ask, they have to tell you the truth,
I thought.
but they don't have to disclose it unless you ask.
Oh,
So it's
okay.
like a
I-
undercover cop.
I thought it was like
Yeah.
specifically for murder. I didn't think it was like if anyone had died, like if I don't know, grandpa died of a heart attack or something. I thought it was like specifically if someone was murdered in that house.
Still a death though.
They need to
Yeah,
disclose
I
it.
think they just
people
count
have
it as all as
superstitions, so no matter what they have
Okay.
to.
I don't know if like a realtor would specifically even know like what the deaths involved. They would
Yeah.
just have to be able to tell you that like a death
Something
has
did
happened in
happen,
this
yeah.
home. Yeah, just because some people are superstitious or whatever. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm not superstitious, but
I'm
I'm
a
just a
little
little
stitious.
stitious.
I mean, if somebody gets that's funny. If somebody gets murdered, I'm more superstitious than if somebody has a heart attack or something in
true.
a house. I just saw on the news a house where like a whole family was killed, and that like a year or two ago, and it got sold to a cop, and then he just got murdered there. It's like there's something about that house that like
I hate that. That's freaky as hell.
yeah.
It was in my neighborhood because there was a cop that lived like around the block, and now there's no cop that lives there.
Nuh-uh.
Yeah.
Oh,
Is that the
no.
cop that had Shane in the basement for that one?
No, he's a car dealer.
The guy that had
Well,
me
that
kidnapped,
couldn't be a cop
or the cop.
then.
No,
The cop is a car dealer.
Cop is also a car dealer.
A car dealer?
He's a cartel dealer.
Oh. Wait, you tell me Shane was in the basement of a used Carman?
yes.
A
It's
used
not
Carman?
I don't know if he's a used.
No, nobody used that Carman. Okay. Well, that's an interesting theory, Shane.
Do you have any other ones, or is that?
That was it.
That
I
was,
think you and
that was
Eric are the only ones.
There's
that-
definitely more
Yeah.
to
I
it,
was thinking
but
that-
not that I recall, and I don't want to read through everything right now on the podcast.
Well, like I said, if you hear anything else about it, definitely keep us updated because it sounds very intriguing.
Every year we'll do an update on.
Right? That's not a bad idea,
what was her
actually.
name?
Lindsay
These 4 cases.
Buzaic,
Yeah,
I believe
we'll do an
that's how it's
update on
pronounced.
Or
Lindsay
these 27
every
cases.
year.
How many you guys got?
We'll leave
it's
we'll
not
leave
true.
a
Why
link
is
to
there
the
no
donate thing for Lindsay down below.
Okay. So is it me now, or is
Yeah,
it?
your turn.
Yeah,
Kreska?
you go.
Are we just gonna go down the line?
Well, I'll go next probably because I don't.
I have
a
I have-
bunch, and basically I
The
know
most.
a little bit about.
He doesn't have a giant book full.
Yeah, I don't have a book and note cards and stuff.
yeah.
Okay. So
Okay.
leave me alone. So my conspiracy theory, they
They.
They did it.
My conspiracy theory. I just don't. Is that,
I was
you
gonna-
guys see that red dot on my forehead?
I mean, it might happen. I was gonna say they think that, like, the conspiracy theorist community
Okay.
thinks that the assassination. Let me finish my word before you laugh.
Assassination.
God dang it!
Can't finish it if you're just saying,
Hey, this episode has gotten canceled twice. He doesn't know what the hell he's talking about.
I don't.
Me neither, bro.
So, the conspiracy theorists.
Conspiracy theorist.
How about those
They
conspiracy
think that
theories?
JFK was not murdered by Patton Oswalt or whatever.
I thought your sentence was gonna stop right at. I don't
I think he was
He was
murdered.
murdered at all. No, he was
Fantastic prosthetics.
JFK is still alive.
pretty definitively
He's
murdered.
in Greece with Elvis and Tupac.
Rest in Greece.
That's what I
Disgusting.
want. That's what I want my coworkers to say
Rest in Greece.
when they lower me into the ground. Rest in Greece, Becca.
I want you to bury me in the grease
Oh,
vat.
I was thinking like they're putting me in a pot of oil, not
Yeah.
like
Put me in
do
the
hand
grease
job,
dump.
baby.
Yeah, I was thinking like
Becca's being buried in the tar pits.
Grecian urn
Yeah.
Coliseum type
Yeah,
shit.
I want to be put in the tar pits of Los
La Brea?
Angeles. Yeah, I want to be put in La Brea with
Which
the
means
dinosaurs.
tar pits,
Yeah.
That'd actually be
tar
kind of
pits,
cool.
Tar pits.
I wouldn't mind being buried in the La Brea tar pits. But anyway, JFK.
Tar pits.
So
He's buried in the tar pits.
JFK was going on his re-election campaign when he was assassinated. He was
I don't buy it.
he was mostly
It's just a theory.
well liked. Most of the country really liked him, but he was not getting the votes that he hoped for in Dallas. So he was told that they weren't going to like him, but for some reason they thought they should just do an open, unarmored.
That's
limo.
the reason, man. They like him if he has a cool drop top car.
That's probably true.
Yeah.
That is probably
He probably
true.
had a,
Through his
like a
arm
lift
around
kit on
Babe
it.
Jackie Allen.
Exactly.
So they are driving, and let me see what it is. It's
It was a motor vehicle.
that is true.
He was in a car.
Okay, let
It
me
was
take
a
a step back.
book
So
repository.
November 22nd, 1963, Lee Harvey
Patton Oswalt.
Oswald?
Lee Harvey Oswald.
Lee Harvey Oswald, yeah. But
It's only one of the most famous fucking names in
I-
history.
We were talking about him before you got here, and I was talking about how on the Drew Carey show they made a character named Harvey Lee Oswald.
did they really?
Yeah, or maybe it was Oswald Lee Harvey, but they like
That's
flipped
crazy.
the name around some way, and there was just
I forgot
a
about
dude
that.
named after Lee Harvey Oswald on the Drew Carey show.
Leave it to Drew Carey.
Yeah.
I wonder how much they paid him. Was the price right? Anyway, the assassination happened on November 22nd, 1963. And then 2 days later, Jack Ruby shot Lee Harvey Oswald, who was accused of killing JFK. The real murderer, most people don't think was Lee Harvey Oswald. That's why they think that he was killed 2 days later to cover it up.
Well, that doesn't mean that he wasn't the real murderer. Let's just say that.
Well, that's true, but according to Trump, the real murderer is Ted Cruz's dad.
What?
So
Wow.
if we ask
Like
Donald
father,
Trump-
like son.
Oh my God! Yeah, they just keep killing in the family. Wait,
I don't know how deep we should go into that. That's not the main part of the conspiracy theory. I'm just saying that's one option.
No,
okay.
main conspiracy is definitely that he's the Zodiac killer.
Yeah, that's it.
have you ever seen that video where somebody has a sign that says like "I know you're the Zodiac killer" and he just looks at it while he's like doing a speech and he's just like
It's like,
he's like
they're onto me.
come on.
Shortly before that, Robert Kennedy, who was a senator at the time, was
Otherwise known as Bobby.
exactly. Damn it, Bobby.
Damn it, Bobby.
He was getting the
Nails done.
mafia and stuff to not be as powerful, essentially.
Which is why they offed him fucking like 2 days after his brother.
They did?
Yeah.
All the Kennedys are dead. Screw the Kennedys.
I didn't see that in my research.
Yeah, they offed Bobby Kennedy.
I think that's pretty notable. But basically, one theory is that because he was doing that, if they killed him right off the bat, then JFK would spend the rest of his presidency or his life even like going after them. Whereas if they killed JFK, then his brother would also kind of lose power. He wouldn't have the president to back him up and stuff, and it'd kind of kill the family from within. And then if they needed to kill Bobby, they could at that
So,
point without having
he's
JFK
saying they.
going after them. The
I
mob,
don't
the
know.
mafia.
Oh, okay.
I don't know
Okay,
how
good luck.
much you looked into it. Not to like completely rip stuff down, but
Eric.
what? I'm just saying. Bobby Kennedy was going to run for president after his brother got shot
Right, and
to take down the mob.
but he
which
would have a
JFK
much
was-
better chance at that if his brother was.
JFK was also
Alive
working
and a successful
at
president.
taking down the mob while he was president.
Yeah, but he wasn't able to do much. His
This
brother
is why
was the
Eric
one
got
who
the
was.
card.
His brother was the one who was really doing it at that point in time. And I think maybe JFK was doing it through his brother or something. But regardless, that's one theory that the mafia did it. With this one, there's so many different theories and lines of thinking and stuff
yeah.
that it's not like this is what I'm going to say did it. It's more just like, do you guys think that JFK was murdered by Lee Harvey Oswald, or do you think
I was like,
it
there's-
some other force?
JFK was murdered by.
There's also, I mean,
we're getting there. We're getting
for
there.
every single thing, there's about 2 different options.
Yeah.
There's like, either they hired someone else to do it and it wasn't him, or they
Right.
hired Harvey to do it.
So in my
Yeah, Ted Cruz hired his dad.
in my notes, I don't
MK
have
Ultra.
Ted Cruz's dad being one, but I do have in the book there are 10.
Oh shoot, you already got this one.
There are 10 different, like a list of 10 different people that could have killed JFK, possibly.
More than 10.
So-
There's
yeah,
about 50
but-
million
but I'm
different
just
people that could have
saying
done
That
it.
is not on that list.
Ted Cruz's dad is not on that list, but so
Make
there's
it 11.
11, I guess. But yeah, there, a lot of people could have wanted JFK dead, and so I don't go into that one much on mine. I just listed like all the.
I didn't realize you
conspiracy
researched
theories
mine.
of people who might have killed him. I didn't really. It was literally just like I looked at the titles in the book, and it was just like a list of different people who possibly could have killed JFK. So it's just
yeah.
it's just crazy because there's so many different theories in this one.
Right,
you know?
right. Yeah, I was trying to look
Personal
into it, and there's a lot.
It's like too many to count.
I recommend the Stephen King book on it. It's a pretty good book.
Yeah,
I
I
watched
started listening
What's
to
it
it.
called?
because it's huge, but I did watch the show and I'm
Cujo?
meaning to read it. Yes.
Is that the one about JFK?
No, it's just like Lee Harvey, MK Ultra.
Everything's on the camera.
Okay. Yeah, we're good.
Government did it.
MK Ultra.
MK Ultra.
What's that?
MK
Drugs.
Ultra is where they were giving drugs to people to like mind control.
And True Serum and stuff.
It's basically Stranger Things. Like
Is the
experiments
basis,
they
yeah.
were doing in Stranger Things.
Haven't seen
is
it.
But in
MK
real
Ultra.
life.
It was
Yeah.
they like
People
slipped
get
LSD
superpowers
into
and stuff.
people that worked for the government's coffee and stuff.
But it was also
And they was-
like mind control
Yeah,
stuff.
it was
get
to see
people
if-
to do stuff
yeah.
like Lee Harvey Oswald or who's the three named motherfucker that shot
John F. Kennedy.
What?
John Frederick Kennedy.
No,
Shot-
John Lennon. Mark David.
John Lennon has
Yeah.
two names.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, everybody.
John
mostly
and
has.
Lennon.
Here, put this on so we can thumbnail it. But yeah, so MK Ultra, mind control, superpowers, stuff like that.
I say they tried to hop people up on so much drugs that they could ask them anything, and then they would be like, "Oh yeah, this is what the Russian government's trying to do as well."
Yeah.
Once they realized mind control didn't do it,
Avril Lavigne is.
I don't think they've tried hard enough.
they clearly didn't.
because it works.
I said, "You pump someone up with enough drugs, they'll tell you most stuff."
The Avril Lavigne is not Avril Lavigne.
She's a mess.
Who is she?
She's a scam.
She's what's her name? Melissa.
McCarthy.
Oh my God, Avril Lavigne, I loved you in Identity Thief.
No, her name's it's some girl named Melissa who looks a lot like her, or possibly a
So
clone.
what happened to
Avril Lavigne killed herself
when?
back before her second album came out. 'Cause she was
That's
depressed
dark.
that her grandpa had died, and so she got depressed and killed herself.
Well, other celebrity musicians have killed themselves, so why make a clone or get a replacement of her but not somebody else?
She's a Canadian pop princess, Becca.
That's enough for me. I believe it.
There you go.
Okay.
Can you Canadian yodel? Only two people can. The Queen and the Princess.
Hey,
Alanis Morissette and Avril Lavigne. Paul McCartney is also dead. I had to look at my notes. Shut up. Paul McCartney's also dead.
Okay. How did he
Cool.
die?
He got into a car accident.
Me too.
Paul McCartney's dead?
Yep.
I heard the news today. Oh boy.
That's what that song's about.
I know. Because he was in the house of Paul.
Yeah. So Paul's dead.
I love to turn you on.
Careful, you're gonna
JFK.
get copyright stricken.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
You're gonna get claimed.
Rock and roll.
Cover. Nick Down.
The Titanic. That was a fake ship. It wasn't actually the Titanic. It was one of the sister
False.
ships.
I have more info on
Yeah, see,
that,
Becca-
so I can.
I believe
can
that.
cover
Titanic.
one
I believe
more.
that they switched the ships for
Uh,
insurance.
Yeah.
False.
Chase Bank, JP Morgan, terrible person. 9/11.
True.
They canceled Kanye's account, bro.
Yeah.
Chase they canceled Kanye's account just for making a couple anti-Semitic remarks. Come
And saying
on.
he loves Hitler.
Oh my God.
9/11 was an
just
inside
because
job.
you insult all of the
Okay,
bank
who did
executives.
9/11?
Us. What are you talking about?
The Williams family.
Yeah, like,
U.S. government planned
Yeah,
it.
the
We're gonna get
US
JFK.
I
And
know.
you cannot say
The
stuff like that.
government killed a bunch of people on 9/11. And to tie it
Why?
back, Bobby Kennedy had the idea in the
Damn
60s
it, Bobby.
for 9/11. They just
so
didn't
Okay, wait.
do it.
why
I have a-
did the government
Jet fuel can't melt steel beams,
do
Bobby.
9/11 though?
It's all about power, keeping people scared,
Do crimes.
and then
do
going.
9/11.
Yeah, exactly. Do crimes.
We came to do 9/11.
But they also wanted to go and get the oil
It's not funny.
in the Middle East. So it gave us multiple things that really have worked in the government's favor ever since.
Okay, guys, real quick. In Spider-Man 1, the Twin Towers are in the movie.
Yeah.
In Spider-Man
Which
2,
means
they're
he
not. He had the choice to
Could
save
have
it.
saved
But he
everybody.
missed the part where that was his problem.
I mean,
To be fair,
he's never
how is he
taken
gonna
down
stop a plane?
Yeah, what the fuck?
What's he gonna?
He did take down a plane, remember? The Stark plane.
Yeah, I mean, it's not the same universe.
That's fair, that's fair. Tom Holland wouldn't have let 9/11
Also-
happen.
The plane still crashed.
Yeah, even in the town
the
hall,
middle
when
of-
the plane did crash.
It was
I think
over.
this is why Becca said we shouldn't talk about
He didn't
9/11 in
pull
the
it
last
up.
episode.
Yeah.
It was over the ocean. I don't
was
think.
why.
I don't think a plane over the middle of New York. Spider-Man's gonna be
No,
like,
that's-
"Let's crash this bitch."
I'll let you guys know that that's not in my notes
That
because I
Spider-Man should
wasn't
have
gonna
saved him.
go there. But
Well,
you guys
I mean,
have gone there.
you know, it's
Eric
a
went there.
conspiracy- Yeah, it's a
Why I
conspiracy
wasn't going there
theory.
too.
It's a conspiracy theory. I'm not saying that's true or I believe it. I'm just saying it's
A belief.
conspiracy. Yeah. Pizzagate. It's where all the celebrities
That one
like
is-
Tom Hanks are fucking
That one
children
is
and drinking
for
their blood.
Sure. true. I don't know.
Really?
About, I haven't heard about drinking their blood, but
You haven't heard of adrenochrome?
no, I've just heard about
I've heard of
Pizzagate
that.
and like them
I want a cheese
Hillary
pizza,
Clinton.
essaying
CP.
children.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and buying things off Wayfair that have kids hidden inside them.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but I haven't heard about them drinking their blood.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
like-
how they
That's
stay
how they
youthful.
stay young and yeah.
Tom Hanks is not young
Tom Hanks is younger than you are.
Did you know Tom Hanks in real life? This isn't a conspiracy theory. He like takes pictures of baby shoes along the
Yeah.
road and
though.
stuff.
Yeah,
It's weird.
that's not a
That's not
conspiracy
that
theory.
weird.
That's what he
true.
said.
That's what I just
He
said.
said
This
it's not a
isn't
conspiracy.
Oh,
It's
I
just
thought
a
you
weird
said
thing
this
that he
is a
does.
conspiracy.
It's
I
I
just
don't
don't-
even think that's weird. I think it's a funny concept
don't-
to be like there's fucking baby shoes everywhere. I'm gonna take a picture
Well,
of
'cause
them
it's just
because
like
why are
kids are
there
losing-
random ass
kids
baby
are
shoes
losing
all
their
over?
shoes.
It's
I don't.
weird.
I don't think it's that weird. I mean, I've gone to a graveyard before and taken pictures because it's cool to see the different styles of graves
Yeah,
and
that's
everything.
different.
And
It's a JFK.
it's just an interesting thing. People find
Yeah, it's
different things
because
kind
Shane's
of.
is more morbid than what Tom Hanks
It's.
is
I'm
doing.
saying. I'm saying it's something.
Depending on how those baby shoes got there. I
Some
guess.
people would hear. I take pictures of grave and find it weird. It's just you see something that to you kind of catches your eye, and you're just like, "That's an interesting thing that is
exactly
this way."
That's fair.
Because I see a grave and I'm like, "Oh, well, this one's an open book. What meaning does that have for that person?" This one has the symbol of the Masons and stuff. This person was probably a Freemason.
Freemasons.
There you go.
We're getting there.
Our family's Freemasons.
Yeah, I know.
We were also conmen. On
John Lennon,
mom's side.
Jimi Hendrix, and Jim Morrison all killed for their political beliefs and the way that they were corrupting the youth to believe.
And Courtney Love.
Well, no, she's not dead. I wish she was
No,
dead.
she killed.
Oh, okay.
Not herself.
Well, I mean, I don't think that. I think she killed him.
So
'cause-
you're saying that, like, the government killed them instead of just like crazy random fans killing
Yes.
them? Okay.
Well, I mean, John Lennon was the only one that was killed by a random crazy fan. The other two were drugs.
Oh, okay.
But I mean, you could easily put something in drugs that musicians are taking all the time at that point. But yeah, because they were preaching anti-war and had a lot of thought within the kids that were listening to their music and stuff, and the way that they thought they were making them think that way. And they
Then why didn't they kill Eminem?
Because he's the
Big
fast
brain energy.
rapper. He's got. I don't know.
He's anti-war, or at least anti him going to war.
Yeah, but he was also rapping about like homophobic and stuff. So I mean, I think
They
Yeah.
appreciated that.
yeah, I think they're like, all right, we don't have to do anything.
Let's hedge
Maybe
our
that's
bets.
why he was.
let's cut
bad
our,
stuff.
cut our losses.
Well, there is the theory that he's
Slim Shady,
in the Illuminati.
the real Slim Shady.
There's the theory that he's actually Slim Shady. They're the same person.
He accidentally stood up one time during the song. And now there's a conspiracy
It's like,
theory.
damn it.
Now he's stuck.
I have the
knew
war
it.
on drugs.
That's just real.
Isn't that,
Yeah.
yeah, isn't that real?
It's not a conspiracy.
You got
That's just fucked up.
conspiracies. It's not
I'm not
necessarily
talking
a
about
theory.
conspiracies.
'Cause they've
I'm
come-
talking about theories.
They've come out and said that they've purposefully pumped it into lesser funded neighborhoods and stuff to try and keep them
Yeah.
down. As well as to just
So,
allow 'em to-
Gentrification.
conspiracy. Not theory.
Yeah.
Okay.
Son of Sam was actually a cult of people.
Son of Sam.
The
That's,
Son of Sam killer.
are you talking about the guy who runs Walmart now?
Yeah.
Actually, it's,
Sam Walton. His
isn't
son.
it his like
Daughters.
I think it's
Daughter
his
or niece
I
or
don't
something?
know. It was just a bad joke. Sorry.
No, we looked it up. She's not the CEO, guys.
Oh yeah, we did.
CEO of what?
Walmart.
His daughter? When did we look this up?
Walmart water.
It was a while ago.
Yeah,
in
Doug
one of the first couple
McMillan's the
episodes.
CEO of Walmart.
Yeah, Son of Sam killings back in I think San Francisco
He was
or
hired
New
by
York.
Sam.
One of the two. Was-
T.T. Jerry slept with Son of Sam.
That's right.
T.T. Jerry?
But Son of Sam says that it was a cult and it wasn't just him that killed the people.
He's
should-
also
That's the conspiracy
nutballs.
theory. That's what I'm saying. That's a conspiracy theory.
We should do an Easy BS TC FJ or whatever episode and figure out what happened
What's FJ?
So many.
from jail.
Oh.
Oh,
What happened to T.T. Jerry?
thought you were gonna say fuck Jerry.
Why is it from jail?
For ambiance.
I like how you said that
I
word.
was like, TT's been
Ambiance.
free.
Ambiance.
This podcast is sponsored by the greatest drinking water, Ambiance. Flat Earth / Hollow Earth.
I love that theory.
Yeah.
I hope that's
Fucking
true.
hate the
You hope
flat
it's
Earth
true.
theory.
There's lizards
Hollow
in the
Earth.
government.
Flat Earth's kind of
Hollow
weird.
Earth?
Hollow Earth's cool.
Yeah, that one's interesting. Flat Earth.
You'll hear the core
Those
reverse
people
direction.
try to like get their theory believed, and then they just end up proving that the Earth is round every time.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's hilarious.
It's ridiculous.
It's because the people that run it are just in it for the money and keeping people, giving them stuff.
Yeah. So there's lizards that run the government.
Oh yeah,
Like Spider-Man.
all the British family is lizards.
They're also Nazis, but
But that's not a conspiracy
no,
theory.
that's true. I'm just saying. Area 51, which I know you have stuff about. Princess Di, once again.
She did die.
Lizards.
Yeah, I have some stuff about Princess Di in here.
Moon landing, fake, clearly.
Stanley
Clearly.
Kubrick did it.
Bro,
But they played golf.
the CGI sucked back then. There's no way it was fake.
I mean, did it? We had Bluetooth
It's practical
back in the
effects.
60s, and it wasn't ever released
Yeah,
until
and it
like
sucked back then,
2000.
too.
It was all practical, Zach.
Well,
So-
people's theory with that is that we did eventually
Yeah,
go to
we
the
eventually
moon.
went
we
to the
just
moon.
Didn't
We just didn't
go
do it the
when-
first time.
Yeah, when they said they did, and that Stanley
I don't know.
Kubrick directed
I
it.
strongly believe we did.
I doubt Kubrick did it.
There's like some documentaries about like whole theories on why Stanley Kubrick directed the moon
Okay,
landing.
link me some stuff because I would love to believe in the conspiracy.
It's really interesting. I'll
Kubrick did
definitely
it.
link
Someone
this
would have
to-
come out and been
But
like,
right
"Oh, he's
now
a piece of garbage."
Right?
Someone would have been like, "I was trying. I was walking," and he was like, "No, you have to
Yeah.
walk like this."
Made me do it 170 times.
And to be fair, it looks pretty goddamn realistic.
It's true.
New Coke.
Old Cook.
Yeah, exactly.
Can you explain to us what New Coke is?
Had
New
cocaine?
Coke is when the war on drugs happened and they had to come out with a better Coke. No, I'm kidding. New Coke, they essentially made a Coke that tasted like shit and put it out without putting out the old stuff. That way they could put high fructose corn syrup
Yeah,
in the
It
old
came
Coke.
back
They
in the
get that
mix.
money.
And then when they took away New Coke, people were fine with the old Coke, but it had fucking deadly poisonous corn syrup in it.
And it was made with real sugar before that?
Yeah.
I didn't know that. That's the main difference between Starry and Sierra Mist. Is that Starry has high fructose corn syrup in it, and
Ugh.
Sierra Mist had real sugar.
Which is some bullshit.
But at least they rebranded. They didn't just put out new Sierra Mist, old Sierra Mist.
Well, they needed to rebrand
Sierra
it
Misty
because they
Drink.
wanted it to be a
Nudge, nudge.
millennial soda. Hitler / Elvis are still alive. / Michael Jackson.
Still
Slash Tupac.
alive?
Slash.
Yeah.
And they're all
I
the
don't
same
know,
people.
Like Hitler would be pretty. Damn
Okay, they
old.
were alive.
He was
Let me
alive.
say
Yeah.
that.
He ran away to like Austria.
Yeah,
And
let me say that they were alive.
Grew
I don't
old
know if
there.
they'd still be alive, but they were alive.
there's a theory
I-
that there's like a Nazi
If
village.
he's still
that he was
alive,
in.
he's gonna want his teacup back from
I'm
Bert.
not even joking. I like kind of believe the theory that Michael Jackson did not die.
Yeah,
I know
same.
you do.
Wasn't it you and me that were watching
Yeah,
videos?
we've seen all those videos,
Yeah, man,
and
he
there's one
sits
of,
up in the
there's
fucking
somebody that
helicopter.
looks like him.
Yeah, I know.
There's a
It's
couple
so
people who look
creepy.
just like him.
Yeah, it's crazy.
I think most of them got like extensive surgery to look like
No,
him.
like
though.
at his
Including that
funeral,
Egyptian
His
statue.
funeral, there
There's
were-
somebody.
There was
Yeah,
one
that
person that
looks
looks.
I
a
mean,
lot
there's
like
probably
him.
these impersonators who get surgery. You know, if you're that dedicated to looking like him, you're probably going to go to his funeral if you can.
Yeah, but I don't think he had an open
No,
funeral.
they
It
were
was
sitting.
like
Well,
a-
they were sitting
can
with
always
the
get in
family
somewhere.
too.
Oh, yeah, yeah,
They
yeah,
were
they were
with
sitting with the
Jacko's
family.
family.
If it wasn't an open funeral and there was somebody who looked just like him that got in there somehow, you don't think his family would be like, "What the hell? What is that? Who is that?
it's
Is
not
that
just
Michael?"
like him. Like it looks like
He used
Michael
to wear
Jackson
disguises.
wearing a
Yeah,
disguise.
he used to wear disguises. It looks like Michael
his
Jackson
family
wearing
didn't know
a
that?
disguise. No,
They're
he
saying
was
they
sitting
they're in
next-
on it.
He was sitting
Yeah.
next to his family.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay, okay, that's
Here,
weird.
I'll see if I can.
yeah, if you can find,
find
a
the
picture,
picture
that's
real quick.
Yeah. Okay. While you're doing
Dude,
that,
yeah, you
I'm going to
keep
say the Vatican has a TV that can see anywhere in time, back and forward.
What?
Yep.
That's
Wild.
a wild theory.
That
bro.
is weird.
Wild.
That might be, that might be
That's
too
right.
much for me.
I kind of want to become a saint or the Pope.
I think
Because
you'd be a great pope.
They have a secret
You're great at
library in the
bullshitting.
Vatican. They have a secret library in the Vatican, and I just
Yeah,
want to know
in
what
that
kind of stuff is
library,
in
you
there.
know what's in it?
The
Vatican
TV.
Time TV.
Every Goosebumps book ever.
Secretly, it's the Word of God. Those are the plagues that he's going to send.
Goosebumps is the word of God.
Yes, they're going to send plagues after us, and it's all going to be the Goosebumps.
God
books.
bumps.
God is
God
slappy.
bumps. Exactly. God is actually
Yeah,
Jack Black.
The Vatican has a TV that can see anywhere in time.
That's crazy.
So
There's a lot of stuff in the Vatican.
Do you think that they just got like the CNN of diddling? It's like a 24-hour news network of like all of the.
Wow.
legitimately shocked that you said that.
Okay, it's the Catholic Church, bro. If they've got a TV that can see anything through all of time and history, you don't think that one of the popes would be like, "Wonder what's on this station." Like, come on. I hope not.
my
But as long as we're
God.
conspiratizing,
Conspiratizing.
Conspiracizing.
It's my
conspiracy theory.
exercise.
I've never read a dictionary.
Oh my.
It's my daily
God.
exercise. Keep me strong. Keep my thighs strong. I
conspiratize.
conspiratize.
Anyway, well, Becca's still
Bet
looking
you
at
guys wouldn't
that.
say that shit to Mike Tyson.
We got Epstein, which everybody knows. History is
Which everybody
closer.
knows.
History is closer than we think. History really doesn't exist, and we lost.
What the hell
right on the
does that
TV.
mean?
We lost.
Time is relative.
We lost about like what is it, like I think it's 300 years, and we're technically in the year 17 something right now. And they made up a bunch of stuff to suit the religical. Jesus fucking Christ! You got your disease spreading to me. The religious like ideology that they were pushing.
I'd buy it. Back in the day when churches were basically the government, it would be easy to.
If they said, "Yeah, it's this year," people,
I don't know if it happened, but I'm saying it
just
could
real quick,
have.
this is the picture.
You're gonna have to
Of
send that to
people who
Zach. You know
think
that, right?
Is Michael Jackson.
I can see it.
He's sitting with the family.
I don't think that's Michael
They
Jackson.
think he like put on some makeup and
I'm
stuff.
pretty
so
sure
he
that's
can-
Heath Ledger.
Yeah, you're gonna have to save that and send it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
You guys are gonna love this one. Mattress Firm.
Oh, I know all about
Money
that.
laundering, baby.
Yeah.
That one's true.
I think that one is true.
So there were ancient civilizations before the Ice Age.
In that.
We're all just silent on
No.
that one. Like,
Before it was like cavemen and stuff, there wasn't like actual civilizations, like Roman empires and stuff before that, but not Rome, obviously.
Basically the belief
civilization.
When
that-
was the Ice Age?
the Ice Age was before Rome.
It was?
No,
It was-
I know, I'm-
He's saying
Before
that
all
there was a
civilization?
civilization on the same scale. There was a civilized, big, large
Yeah, we
scale
had
running water.
civilizations and stuff.
Like,
Before
and then either it
there
got
were-
buried
Before, like,
by
civilizations.
Ice Age and stuff, or is hidden for some
I
reason.
thought that was
but
just true, but maybe I just don't
No.
know when the Ice Age was.
No, that's a theory.
even, I don't know if you're thinking just people or if you're thinking full civilization.
full
Maybe I'm just not
civilizations.
thinking like advanced enough civilization.
Yeah, because he's talking full.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm talking.
There's
like
a government,
Baghdad
there
battery,
is-
fucking. They knew calculus, like
Yeah,
Okay. Well, knowing
us, basically.
Dude, calculus
but
wasn't
before
even-
the Ice Age.
when
He was just using calculus
Okay,
as
okay.
an example.
there is more modern stuff that has been figured out beforehand, and then Ice Age hit, things got buried or something,
And then we started all over.
Yeah,
essentially.
we had to restart without the
Okay.
knowledge that they had to
Okay.
guide us.
when Einstein first started developing E equals MC squared, calculus wasn't a thing.
Yeah, I believe it.
It's crazy.
That's what I'm saying.
He's a smart ass guy.
But then when calculus was invented, it all proved
Well,
him right. So
Calculus was a thing, just wasn't. We didn't know how to do it.
is math a thing, or is it just something
It's a
that
thing.
we developed to make sense of things?
You know, I don't really
It's-
think we need to
it
go
is
into
provided-
We're getting
calculus being
metaphysical.
invented.
It's providing
If we
a
continue with
numerical
conspiracy
system
theories-
to.
Touche. I get what you're saying.
Yeah, it's just providing a
keep going.
numerical system to the world, basically.
Okay, so when we were in a near miss accident, we were transported to another dimension,
Oh wow.
So like
kind of
connected
like
to the
Russian
Mandela
doll,
theory?
yeah, or Mandela effect.
and then
Okay.
if
So if we
it's
die,
not a
basically
near
we
miss?
come back
Then you die.
then the version of you dies.
Dude,
Eric's-
I swear to God, the
Eric's
Berenstain
point
Bears
being-
has never been the Berenstain Bears.
Let me.
Quantum
Eric's
theory
point
or something?
being,
it's in quantum
to
theory.
you, it is a near miss. To everyone else in that reality,
You died.
You died.
You switch,
But
to
to
a
you,
different timeline where
you
you're
would
not
switch
dead.
and it'd be a near miss.
It doesn't
So you
always
keep
happen, obviously,
Yeah.
because you're dead.
your personality
Okay,
keeps
so
going in that
does-
other body, but
Does that include like old age, or is it just like in
No.
a near miss accident?
No, just accidents and stuff.
Okay. Because I mean, I believe in that. String theory
Quantum
says
death.
that there's different
Infinite universes.
if you believe in
Infinite
that. then yeah.
timelines.
Yeah, look it up because it's pretty crazy, and I don't have the time nor the memory.
we can do a whole episode
to,
on that.
Yeah, to do
Oh
it.
yeah, we should do an
you guys
episode
heard?
on that.
You guys
I would
familiar with
check
egg
that,
theory?
yeah.
Everybody freeze for
Just a sec.
I don't like it when this goes to the screensaver. I can't see what's going
Well,
on.
stop setting it to the screensaver then.
It goes after
So
a
long.
certain amount of time or
You can
something.
change it.
There's nothing he can do, Becca. He can't
I'm
change
not
the
going to do it while we're in the
screensaver.
middle of the podcast. I'll change it for next time.
Anyway, watch it.
I said, you guys know egg theory?
I don't.
Egg
think so.
Oh,
theory?
what's that?
Yeah, it's.
We're in like an egg carton?
I believe that's what it's called, where it's like reincarnation, but it is you are everyone.
Oh yeah.
So you were constantly
Yeah,
reincarnated as each individual person
every
in the
single
world.
person, yeah.
So I would
So
be
we're all just one
all of
person?
you,
Yes.
and all of you would be me.
Reincarnated. Yeah.
So it'd be I die, I get reincarnated.
So this
at some
fucking
point in
podcast
time.
is E. It's like a dolphin podcast.
Yeah, so it would be you die, you get reincarnated some point in time, and then you take that person's place, and then when you die in that body, you get reincarnated somewhere else in time and take that person's place.
And then
But
when
you-
you have a
and
near
so
miss population
everybody-
doubles.
yeah, but everybody is one person, and supposedly everybody would get their own little universe where they experience everything.
That's strange.
That sounds like Mormonism. It's like your own planet.
No,
Where
not
you're
really,
everything
no.
and everybody, and you're like the god of your planet. That's what that starts to feel like.
I mean, you're not God.
Not to diss any religion or anything. I'm just saying that's what it feels like. Because it, and maybe that's.
I don't. To be
you know?
fair, I'm not familiar with what Eric's talking about with the own planet. I don't know if that's a part of it. I'm sure Eric.
Maybe I misunderstood
But-
the last line you said.
Well, I just mean like. Well, no, I guess I don't know what I'm talking about. Never mind.
Yeah, because all I know of egg theory is you are everyone. It's reincarnation, but times a million, where you are every single living being, basically, over time.
It's specifically like you, or just like
The spirit.
same energy.
The spirit, basically.
Because I could
One
get behind
spirit.
that.
Where it is, because reincarnation is your spirit gets reincarnated into a different body.
Yeah.
Whereas traditional reincarnation would typically be in a future point, whereas egg theory is throughout all of time. It is the same spirit in every single body.
I
And
kind of like that, and I can get behind it. It's just kind of mindfucky, like how, like who are you originally? Like who actually are you, if that's the case? You know,
Everybody.
like it
It's-
makes me feel so like not.
I mean,
in
do you know?
control.
Do you know this?
yeah, it should.
Do you know
the
this?
fucking universe?
Do you know like split brain differential?
like left brain, right brain?
Yeah, if you have a split brain, I believe it's the like right brain or left brain. One of them is what has the speech center.
Mm-hmm.
So if it's split, that other side isn't capable of communicating with the other side. So you can pick something up, and if they ask you what's in that hand,
You don't know.
yeah, your body's not capable of transmitting it to the other side.
That's crazy. I've never
So
heard
there's the
that.
theory.
Yeah.
There's the theory of which half of you is the real you, because each side has the ability to communicate. So is it the side that can talk that is the you, or is it the not talking side?
Right. They've also
is
done-
it two completely separate entities, basically?
Warring.
They've also done studies to blow your mind further, Eric, where somebody will get hurt on the left side of their brain or whatever, because you said you didn't know that. And they will tell them to draw an apple, for example, and they'll be like, I don't know what an apple is, but they can draw an apple perfectly.
Oh yeah, I know about that kind of stuff. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's the same. They have like diseases where you think
Start speaking
everybody's
French after a coma or something.
Oh, yeah,
You've never
but-
learned French before?
There's well yeah, that's crazy too. But there's stuff where like you
That
get
kind of stuff
into
makes me believe in your theory, dude.
Oh yeah, I mean you get into a traumatic accident sometimes though, and if you have a brain injury, you can not recognize people's faces as your loved ones, and you'll think that they're like aliens or invaders or imposters or whatever. But like so there was a case where a kid like went skiing and had an accident, and his parents called him up on the phone. I think he was in Mexico or something. And his parents called him up on the phone, and he was easily able to recognize, all right, these are my parents. When they showed up, he was like, these are not my parents, because his brain was just like hit
Wow.
in just the right way. And
And it happens the same with like Alzheimer's and stuff like that can cause strokes and shit can cause those kind of crazy ass diseases.
Yeah, it's
The
scary.
brain is
Crazy.
a complex thing.
Yeah, nobody understands it.
I do. But
Do you guys
So,
want to go less?
Going off on that tangent.
Oh,
You have
for
any more
me?
theories?
Yeah, Lee Michelle can't read. I know it's a complete 180 from the mind fuck that we were just talking about. But yeah, Lee Michelle, she can't read.
that means
She
we can't
definitely
read.
It's true.
We can't
Started
read.
to believe that.
That's why I had to
Honestly,
watch the TV
like-
show of 11, 20, 63 or whatever.
Good job. You got it.
I totally believe in that theory.
Oh yeah.
Actually,
Yeah.
I honestly, because
Let me
nobody
read my
ever
notes a
comes
bit.
out and says, like when her co-stars, when people ask them, they never say she can read. They just kind of
you say
avoid the
co-stars?
question. Co-stars, like when other people from Glee get asked about it, none of them ever say just straight out like she can read. They just like avoid the question.
It's because it's way funnier.
Yeah.
I don't know. I
For
think
them.
it's
Maybe
interesting.
not for her,
and
but
it's
for them, I'm sure
believable.
it's hilarious. Okay, here's another kind of fucky one. We started on Mars and then went to Venus, and now we're here, and we lost all of our innovations, which is why we don't remember or are able to get back to Mars, where we completely destroyed the atmosphere.
I believe that, but I don't know if I believe in that order and that we lost all of our technology.
Why
but
that order?
but I think that maybe we did come from a different planet already. I could see
That's
that.
discussed in Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy.
It's like in Doctor Who
Yeah.
when they go to New Earth.
Yeah.
New York.
Okay, this is the one where when we were talking last week, and I was shouting these out. This is the one where you guys were like, "No, don't talk about that yet." Stephen Hawking is an AI.
That's right.
Yeah.
I think we said
okay.
don't talk about that at all.
Yeah. And yet he's still bringing it up.
That one could be a little offensive.
Oh, I don't think
Very,
so.
very offensive, I think.
I don't think
Because
so.
he had
Against
a
people with that
degenerative
disease.
And
And he was
a
just
whole life before
actually
that,
a
and he was
smart
totally
person.
fine. Yeah.
Yeah.
He wasn't that smart before.
That is not true.
He totally was. He was a renowned scientist
Yeah.
before the act.
He went to like a
before
major
his,
I
college.
don't think so. Eddie Redmayne. He was.
yeah. Stephen Hawking or Eddie Redmayne.
Stephen
I
Hawking
just think
is
that
Eddie.
that one is absolute bullshit.
Yeah, but I mean, I just wrote down theories. I'm not saying I believe in fucking
I
all of them.
know.
Come on, guys.
I'm not saying
Which
you
ones
do
do you
believe
believe
in.
in? Then I'm curious.
That's a
Zach
mystery.
and Time TV, and that's about it.
Jesus Christ.
Crime show. This one I do believe. Crime shows show people things that are not real to keep people from doing crimes. So like
As in, like, they.
technologies that they use to
Yeah.
solve crimes, they don't actually have. That way,
Oh.
so like
Basically,
CSI shows, oh my god, they can do all this with DNA, and
Oh,
they'll be
that
able
way
to figure
it
you out.
deters
Yeah,
people
it
from
deters
Yeah,
people
because some
from
people will be
committing
like,
crimes.
"Oh, if I do this, they're
Yeah,
gonna
I'm gonna
find me
get caught
easily."
We
because
still
they
have
can
such a
easily
high
do this.
crime rate. I don't know.
I
if
don't think so.
I don't know
Yeah.
about that one.
I mean, we have a high crime rate, but imagine what it would be if they didn't have shows like
To be fair.
CSI.
Imagine
will-
what it would be if we didn't.
I will
have that.
give Eric credit with that one. I can guarantee you, if we didn't have fingerprinting DNA technology, if you could go into a place and just be like, "There's no camera," crime would
We
be
would.
sure,
up
it'd be like
higher.
the Purge.
We would, but nobody isn't stopping crime because they saw an episode of CSI where they had fingerprinting
Bullshit.
technology.
I can tell you right
I was like,
now.
I would probably have done something. I would
It's
have
not
robbed
CSI
someplace.
that's doing that. It's when real people are getting caught because of these things. Like,
Yeah, but real normal people wouldn't necessarily know this is how they solve crimes and stuff if they didn't have shows like that. And if you fake that shit, then they're gonna think, "Oh my, this is
Maybe
how
in the
they catch the
80s.
people."
maybe in the
Or at least
And those shows have been on for
exaggerating.
about
So,
100
wait,
years. So
Eric, you said this one you actually believe in?
a little bit, yeah.
At least I could at least see them
There's some
exaggerating
truth in,
how much
in
it
this,
is
I think.
done.
Yeah, exactly.
Not necessarily saying it doesn't exist, but I could see exaggerations on like
I think
only focusing on cases where it's like this specific technology was used in order to promote the fact that it is used more often.
yeah, like the enhanced cliche.
Yes, but I think they do these things for the sake of plot development and creating a compelling story that
We
is
talking true
solved
crime or CSI?
at the end of it.
CSI and true crime.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, I think they do that for the sake of being able to solve a crime at the end of the episode. Nobody wants to watch CSI and have it not be solved.
Yeah, you know what? I don't believe that Monk could actually solve all those crimes.
To be fair, Monk
I-
didn't. Most of those shows they don't use technology. It's just like
Exactly.
they're just like, watch this, guys.
I think maybe it has deterred some
all
people,
those
but I don't think
procedurals,
that's
except like
why
the old
they
procedurals.
do that.
they
Even
never
I say
used
even
stuff
like
that.
not Blacklist. The show with Mandy
Mindhunter.
Patinkin,
Criminal Minds.
Criminal Minds. Yeah, even on that show, a lot of the times it's.
It's
Yeah.
detective work and stuff.
I'd say
It's
even in
not-
that show, a lot of the time there's occasionally
not
like
lab
trying to
work.
get into a computer, but a lot of times on that show it's just like, oh yeah, this is their profile, like,
Yeah, exactly.
and working off that.
You got any more? Eric? Becca's got a whole list, so
yeah.
let's hurry up.
Yeah, John Benet Ramsey is Katy Perry. I think we've all heard
I
that
fucking
one.
hate that theory. It's so
hate
stupid.
that.
We've all heard that.
Yeah.
It's such a stupid theory.
I only heard it from you last week.
Walt Disney Company created the movie Frozen to hide the fact that Disney's frozen body. So when they Google it,
Disney
Frozen
Frozen.
the
Oh
movie
my
is the
God.
first thing that comes up.
I've heard that one.
I haven't heard that, but that makes sense. I think he's frozen, but I don't know if they've invented Frozen for that reason.
This one, not
Yeah,
necessarily.
still avoid
Conspiracy: Disney ruined Kingdom Hearts 3.
This one, not necessarily a conspiracy. Apple removed the jack because of Square.
It was a
'Cause
square.
it's square.
Yeah,
Squarespace,
like
like
the card
the-
reader
yeah.
thing
You
that you
can-
plug into your jack.
But you can still use a square reader that's Bluetooth.
Yeah, you can
Bluetooth,
now.
or it goes into the.
When they
Lightning
first came
cable.
out,
Yeah.
it was literally just plug in, and that's why Apple removed the jack.
But why?
But if they advanced the
It's-
technology, then what was the point?
Oh, and by the way, while we're talking about that, they came up with most of the innovations for cell phones and computers and stuff a long time ago, and slowly doled them out to get you to release.
That's very
When I
true.
more money.
when I was
That's
at
very true.
Aunt Carrie's house, me and Chris kind of discussed that a little
Yeah.
bit because we were talking about AI, I think, and he's like, "There's some government in the world that has something that's far more advanced than what
Oh,
we've
yeah.
seen, and they're just not releasing it yet."
But, well, I mean, most of them are getting it from Google. But Google's way more advanced than what anything publicly has been shown.
Yeah,
And it's creating its own intelligence. It's alive. But anyway,
I don't.
a whole nother conspiracy
I
theory.
don't think we have true AI yet, but
Yeah. I think we basically do. Though.
advanced further than what we've seen, probably. But I don't
Yeah.
believe we have true AI.
I think it's got some kind of feelings.
But all the innovations and stuff, basically.
I mean, if
for
Eric's right about
technology
Stephen
has been
Okay.
Then it
What
has
else?
feelings.
What else?
I got
My
two
name
more.
is Chat GPT.
The Large Hadron Collider opened up a rift, causing Mandela effects.
What about the dude
What
that got
next?
shot with it?
What?
Conspiracy
say?
theory. Kingdom Hearts is light.
So this last one, you guys know who DB Cooper is?
Yes.
Yeah.
So DB Cooper, when he jumped out of the plane, he survived and created IMDb.
The movie database.
Oh my God, Eric.
At least some people got it here.
I get it now.
That's my last one.
Is that one just a joke? Okay. TV. That's dumb. Did you make that up?
No, I saw it online.
Oh my God.
And I was like, I gotta put this in there. It's hilarious.
That's funny.
That's good. That's
funny.
good. That was a lot.
Yeah.
But now it's my time to shine. So I have little bullet points on everything. The main one I want to cover.
Magic bullet points.
Yeah, magic bullet. I'm gonna skip over the main one I want to talk about and do that one last. So, which is Men in Black. All right. If
Flush
you
me,
have
Jay,
any
flush me.
questions, I can also flip
No.
to the
Get
page
your
in the
hands
book.
off of my wife.
I
Oh, wait, he
said
didn't say
keep-
get your hands off of my wife.
He said
Keep your fucking hands off of my wife. I will.
What do you? Why do you think he's touching his wife?
Get her name. No.
Oh,
Keep
your
my
name.
keep my wife's name.
Keep my wife
your-
out
out
your
your
fucking
Fucking
mouth.
mouth.
I will. Okay.
Yeah, I will. And he still goes up on stage and just.
I say, yeah, he never touched Jada Pinkett Smith. Let's keep that on here because Chris Rock will sue a motherfucker.
All right. So the first one I have is Area 51. So it's an Air Force. It's an Air Force base in Nevada. The Roswell crash happened, which was, people say, prolonged testing involving a stealth aircraft, possibly just to cover up Oh wow.
That was after.
Smack the shit out of me.
That's not even him saying it.
G.I. Jane joke. He fucking like me.
Sorry, continue.
You don't like it.
Fucking mouth.
Pizza's done.
Pizza time.
Spider-Man.
Yeah, Spider-Man 2, where the Twin Towers were.
No. That part might not have even been recorded. We might have dodged a bullet and not recorded the
Magic
audio.
bullet.
Okay, continue.
Continue.
Area 51. George W. Bush confirmed Area 51's sinister reputation, according to conspiracy theorists, in September 2002 when he exempted Area 51 from
September,
federal.
Bush is doing some shit.
Yeah, right? He exempted them from federal environmental legislation that required disclosure of classified information concerning local operations. So, like, all these other places had to disclose all their classified information, but Area 51 didn't. Kind of weird.
That is
That's
weird.
interesting.
In the public thing that it holds like classified space, not spacecrafts, but like
Just
government
yeah,
aircrafts,
airships and stuff
Yeah.
because it's a testing site.
Yeah.
So it's like they don't want other countries to know what the military's new technology is.
Yeah, which that makes more sense than,
It's weather balloons.
well,
Yeah.
I don't know. I believe in aliens, but
I believe in aliens.
White Chinese weather balloon.
so going from Area 51, we're going to move on to Men in Black, which I'll come back to.
Then we're not moving on to it.
The Men in Back.
That's right.
Next, we have
Jesus Christ.
Jesus Christ.
Getting canceled.
Me shit.
So this one was in the book, and I just thought it was funny.
What's a
because
better conspiracy theory?
the Bible?
9/11 or Jesus Christ?
This one's in the book. The
This
Bible.
one was in the encyclopedia, and like the only thing they had to support it was that the books were written 50 to 100 years after Jesus supposedly died. That was like the only info they had.
I mean,
So
there's
I
a
just
lot
thought that was
more.
funny.
There's more than that, but
Going from Jesus Christ to next, we have Noah's Ark.
I just want to thank you because now I can put Jesus in the thumbnail.
It's true.
Yeah. So according
Hey, can we
to
get me giving him a high five? Can you like?
No, please. No.
no, we got to put our tinfoil hats.
I was like, I thought we were doing tinfoil hat.
Jesus wearing a tinfoil hat, high five in Eric.
That's what I want.
So the
So
theory
bad.
with Noah's Ark is
going to
that
hell.
the
He's
CIA
fake, so-
found parts of Noah's Ark on Mount Aurora, which is supposedly where like the flood happened and where the boat ended up, and they hid it. So according
Huh.
to conspiracy theorists, the CIA has parts of Noah's Ark and they're hiding it.
Wow.
So
Clearly not
you think
atheist
that-
Y'all
conspiracy
seen-
theorists.
Y'all seen Bill Nye talk about the Ark?
No.
He went to the museum for it and stuff, and was like talking to the guy that
dissing
runs the
stuff?
museum and stuff. Yeah, and he was like, "Oh yeah, apparently it was a giant concrete boat that held a bunch of people."
Do you think it was concrete?
That was like what they had on, in the museum and stuff. And he was like,
Do you think Steve Carell has a piece of the ark?
"Yeah,
I
100%."
definitely gave him some. Yeah,
They built that Ark in that movie with the real Ark, actually.
Oh wow.
would be a good way to hide it. And then they found it.
I mean, it's like Ship of Theseus, is it the real Ark? Continue.
moving on from Noah's Ark,
Jesus Christ.
a lot of people died when that happened. So we're going to talk about death next. JFK's assassination. This is just a list
new
of
to me.
10 different people who might have killed JFK. Lee Harvey Oswald alone.
Check.
Lee Harvey Oswald with the Secret Service.
Check.
Fidel Castro.
Check.
The Russians.
Fidel Castro.
The CIA. The
Check.
mob.
Check.
Anti-Castro Cuban exiles. The
The
FBI.
Check.
The U.S. military.
Check.
The far-right lunatic fringe, as they were called.
check.
So there's like no
Is this
check on that.
Cuban Missile Crisis stuff?
And also apparently Ted
Yes.
Cruz's dad.
Sort of related to it.
Yeah.
But,
Okay.
and
So
yeah.
that literally, like, the book has so much information on all of them, I just couldn't do that.
Yeah, half the
So-
book is probably JFK.
Honestly, like, it covers about 5 pages
Wow.
of the book, which is just crazy. Yeah, so that's
Borrowed
just
that book.
a list of a bunch of people that might have killed JFK. Moving on from that, we have the Zapruder film, which is also part of the JFK assassination. So that was a 22-second film of JFK that somebody caught of him getting assassinated. It had compelling evidence of multiple snipers.
That's where you see the Umbrella Man. too.
Yeah, the Umbrella Man, and of him getting hit from the front instead of from the back, which the second shot was from the front in the Zapruder film, and then the first shot was in the back. the Warren Commission, which was the commission that was banded to kind of figure out like who killed JFK and like get the official information. They messed with the footage, so they took the Zapruder footage and they kind of scrambled it all up and doctored it so that you couldn't quite see what was going on, and you couldn't see the second shot hit from the front. They made it so it looked like it hit from the back. And then Time Life purchased the Zapruder film from the, well, I don't know if they purchased it like from the government or somehow they got a hold of it.
They didn't. They purchased it from the Zapruder family. If I'm not mistaken.
And now they're hiding it, so they're not releasing it. Wow. And they also doctored it, so it's been doctored twice. Yeah.
By Dr. Phil.
I
want you to change the Zapruder film.
Catch me outside. How about
End
that?
your life.
Moving on from JFK's assassination, we're going to move on to Marilyn Monroe's death. So there's very differing accounts of how she died and what she died from.
One account that she died like another account.
So the official account is that she died from a drug overdose, but there were no pills found in her stomach. But she did have chloral hydrate in her blood. So
She was a flower.
people think that maybe her doctor put something in her blood to kill her. Her death file went missing, and it's still missing to this day. Nobody knows where it is. It said that she was threatening to tell secrets about Area 51 and the government that she had from previously dating JFK and dating Bobby Kennedy. She dated both of them because she is
that
bitch.
dog.
Apparently, Bobby Kennedy was seen with her doctor just a couple hours before her death. But then the maid has said, like Marilyn Monroe's maid has said twice, once that she saw him and once that she didn't see him on that night. So, differing information.
Or she both did and didn't see him.
I mean, that's true, because technically, I'm looking at you right now. I see you, but if I go like this, you could not be here at all.
That's true.
Schrodinger's Monroe.
Okay.
Moving on
Schrodinger's
from
Bobby.
Marilyn Monroe's death, let's move on to Princess Diana's death. So there's 4 main theories of who killed Princess Diana. The first one being Diana faked her own death. Her bodyguards survived, which they didn't think was possible at the time that, or how fast the car was going. They didn't think that it would have been possible for anyone to survive. So they think that for some reason she faked her death and that's why the bodyguard was able to survive.
Wait, pardon my ignorance. What happened? They hit like a bridge and or underpass or something, and her head came off.
They were going through a tunnel and they got in a car accident. The driver was extremely drunk, I believe. Her driver.
They were trying to get away from. I thought
Paparazzi.
They were trying to get away from paparazzi.
They were trying to get away from paparazzi. So they were going like 100 in a 60 or in a 40 or something. They were going really, really fast, and they hit the tunnel. Yeah. So yeah, and apparently, 6 hours before she died, she claimed that she was going to withdraw from public life. So. The second is that she was killed by the M16, which is the UK Secret Service.
MI6.
Yeah, it's MI6.
Or MI6, my bad.
Tom Cruise.
They said that
Henry
Dodi
Cavill.
Al-Fayed, who was her
That was her
lover, was a threat to national security, so they decided that they were just going to get rid of her. 3, collateral damage. Dodi Al-Fayed was actually the target, and that she died not on purpose, but just kind of in the mix of things happening. And then 4th is that the royal family killed her, and she has, I don't know if it's a diary entry or a letter about saying, I'm going to die in a car accident. A few months or weeks before it happened, she had this whole entry saying she was going to die in a car accident. She thinks somebody was out to get her, that the brakes were going to go out on the car. So
It was definitely the
so there's
British
that
government.
one. Moving on from Princess Di's death, we're going to go on to Kurt Cobain's death.
Oh boy.
So he had an amount of heroin in his blood that should have been an instant death. And while you could say maybe, he was a frequent drug user, maybe it wasn't enough to kill him.
Maybe.
But they have accounts of very heavy drug users taking this dose of heroin, and they would die like as soon as they take it. They die with the needle still in their arm.
They test
He
that?
had time to
Experiments?
I don't know. He had time to take the needle out of his arm and roll his shirt sleeves down and move into a new position.
Yeah, he definitely didn't kill him.
Yeah. There were no legible prints found on the shotgun that killed him, the cartridges, the note, or the pen he used to write his suicide note. The first note, because he did try to kill himself previously in Italy.
Did they not have his handwriting? Was it the note in his handwriting?
It was, I don't know. I don't know that actually. So I don't know if it was in his handwriting, but like there were no fingerprints on anything.
I mean, if the note's in his handwriting and it seems like he wrote it, then I would have a hard time like making a big deal about fingerprints not being on other things if they feel like he wrote the note, but his fingerprints weren't on the stuff.
But they checked it for fingerprints, and there were none.
I mean, somebody wiped
but-
the fingerprints.
Oh, I guess if somebody
Wiped them.
but they forced him to write the note before or something?
I mean, if it was his wife, you don't think she'd been like
Maybe.
looking at his writing or could get somebody to forge a fucking letter?
Yeah, it could be.
Yeah, so no legible prints on anything. He had tried to previously commit suicide in Italy, and the first note from that wasn't produced until after his death. And apparently in that suicide note, he was talking about wanting to get divorced from Courtney Love, and it was mostly about how he was unhappy in his relationship with Courtney Love. But yeah, she didn't show that note until after he had died, saying like, oh yeah, he actually tried to do this before. Here's this. The coroner was actually friends with Courtney Love and hung out with her very frequently. He partied with her. So yeah, Courtney Love definitely killed Kurt Cobain.
Yeah, I believe that one 100%.
Moving
Courtney
on.
Hate, am I right?
Moving on from that, we have Zachary Taylor's death.
Courtney Cobain's kind of a cool name though.
Really rolls off the tongue.
Yeah.
Moving on from that, we have Zachary Taylor's death, who was one of the presidents. Apparently, he was trying to get rid of slaves, and he was threatening to hang slave owners that kept slaves.
Oh, wait. Get rid of slavery.
Yeah.
Not get rid of slaves. I was like, wait.
Oh, my bad. Like,
Getting rid of slaves is like
yeah, no.
That sounds normal for the
getting rid
time.
of slavery. And he was threatening to hang slave owners who still had slaves.
Basically the same thing as Lincoln, which is why they shot him too.
Yeah.
There's
So
the- yeah.
he looked healthy the night that he died. The official account was that he died of a mix of sun poisoning and
Heroin
eating
and a shotgun
cherries and
blast.
iced milk.
what? You could die from that?
I guess it was just like they said it was like a weird combination of foods that made him sick and die. But he
They
was
didn't have as much imagination back
What?
then.
he was sitting in the shade.
It was so
all day.
disgusting that his body was just like,
John
what
Wilkes
the,
Booth fed him cherries.
what the hell are you doing, man? We're
Opened
done.
a window.
Yeah. So he was sitting in the shade all day. He was never in the sun, and he actually was
Did-
not
wait,
accounted eating cherries.
So they're
and
saying
iced
that's a
milk
real
that day.
thing? That's like
What?
it's you can actually die from sitting in the sun with cherries and
Sun? No, not altogether. They're saying it was a mix of sun poisoning and eating like a strange combination of foods that made him sick.
Okay. How much sunlight do you need to get sun? Okay, sorry. Continue.
Depends on how pale you are.
Yeah.
It's true.
Fair.
But he was sitting in the shade all day, so it doesn't even matter. No autopsy was ever done, but they did do a forensic report in 1991 where they dug up his body, and he actually had acute arsenic poisoning in his
Oh, wow.
stomach. Yeah.
So yeah, clearly.
So something happened there.
Yeah.
Moving on from that, going on to another country, we're going to talk about Chernobyl. It was not accidental. It was used by the Russians to gain knowledge about effects of radioactive communication to prepare to fight and survive a global nuclear war.
I don't believe
This
this.
one I don't believe. Yeah.
Why?
It's one of the
Well,
few.
I was about to say I believe it. Why don't you guys
I
believe
can
it?
see it. I can
mean-
see Russia doing that.
Yeah.
Why not?
They nearly like destroyed all of Europe.
It
Well,
was
yeah,
I mean-
they maybe didn't mean to go that far.
Right. I don't know if they meant to go that far, but I could definitely see them doing something like that, and it's better for it to happen there than
Well, every one of the Russian missile silos also had the same flaw that caused
I would
Chernobyl, though.
there's the saying, don't attribute to planning what can be attributed to negligence and idiocy.
yeah.
If someone just wasn't was careless enough to not do it. Is
No,
more what I think
ultimately,
would be.
I don't think that's what happened, but I believe
But,
it.
like,
You guys were
you
so
know,
quick to
it's
say
like,
you don't
maybe.
believe it.
but you don't.
You know,
I could see it.
If
just a
you,
theory.
I don't believe that's what happened. Though is what I'm saying. I could kind of see it being a thing, but I don't believe that is what
I don't
happened.
think it is because, like you said, it's more likely that it just.
I think it just wasn't planned well enough. And,
Yeah, and it's so hot and stuff. But-
Because I mean, it's not like that was the only nuclear meltdown that ever happened.
Yeah, that's true.
3 Mile Island and everything is also a
It's
thing
the biggest one, though.
over here.
isn't
Yeah.
it?
So, moving on from there, we just have Russia.
Because it almost melted into the core of the earth and killed everyone.
That's it. That's the end of the theory.
Russia.
Moving on from there, we have going on from radioactivity, cancer cures. So we have in Canada in 1989, a doctor found a cure, but he got arrested and later acquitted.
For what?
Curing cancer.
You fucking idiot.
Arrested for cancer.
I mean,
Felony cancer. It's the most American thing I've ever heard.
I thought she said it was Canada. North American thing I've ever heard.
Oh, sorry. That's the most Canadian thing I've ever heard. You arrested for cancer, eh?
You're doing crimes.
Not in my providence.
Not in this BC, buddy. Unless you have a very thick Spanish accent.
What was it?
it just says he was found of various felony accounts.
See,
Multiple.
doing crimes.
But then,
Whole lot of
he
crime.
was acquitted later, so it was found that he wasn't guilty.
Okay, well, so was OJ.
Touche.
There was also a scientist named
Doom
Raymond
child.
Rife who was working on a cure for 20 years.
Everybody loves Raymond.
In 1931, he was endorsed by researchers until the American Medical Association censored all his reports, and he was hounded into obscurity.
And then Elvis wrote a song.
I was gonna say he doesn't ain't nothing but.
Yeah, he's nothing but a hound dog. After that, we have suppressed inventions, which
Such as the water engine.
Yeah, right?
The water card.
Yeah.
Yeah, all that's real.
I mean, inventions are typically either suppressed or stolen. So
I'll just list off a couple quick ones. So we have a fuelless generator or a free energy machine that was made in 1927. The guy who created it, he was harassed by the government and then he was shot to death, a supposed suicide. We have 200 mile per gallon carburetor that was produced in 1935. Oil companies allegedly conspired to suppress the invention. It says that these carburetors were installed on some U.S. Army tanks during World War II, but then they were removed from circulation when the conflict ended. So they used it, saying the government used it when they needed to, and then they got rid of it so other people couldn't use it. We have a couple more carburetors that were installed and then taken out of operation. We have a gravity electric engine, which was designed to draw electricity from the atmosphere without the use of any fuel. This was made in
That's some
19
alien technology.
Yeah. It was made in 1961, but the device just vanished. Very weird.
it's because gravity's just a theory. It's not real.
Did he look on his ceiling?
Floated into the sky.
Is he lifting drinks? And then we have a gas water additive, which was made in 1974. It was permitted
That one's crazy.
to mix water and gas without reducing its combustibility, therefore making gas prices in neighborhoods 2 cents per gallon. When the Navy tried to follow up with the dude, he allegedly was missing from his home and his laboratory was ransacked.
You know, today it'd still be like 58 cents a gallon. Be fucking Biden.
And then the last one is that there was a rooftop heat to electricity converter. It was built to capture fluctuation voltage, which was the static heard on radios and amplifiers for conversion into electric power. The government allegedly took custody of his invention in 1975, promising a working model within 6 months, and then they dismissed the project as impractical. So that's just a couple of
I think the moral of this episode
suppressed
is
inventions.
fuck the government.
Honestly, though.
They're hiding stuff.
Moving on from suppressed inventions, more of the government being fucking awful, is fluoride in water. So fluoride has been found to be ineffective and unnecessary since they started putting it in water.
According to who?
9 out of 10 dentists.
Just researchers just saying like
Because I thought
we
a
needed
small
it
amount
back
was
then.
good.
What?
I thought a small amount was good.
Yeah, but they're putting so much in the water that it's like ineffective now.
Hmm.
So the benefits are only topical. So people have
Rubbing
never
it on you?
understood why we're swallowing it and why we're not just like swishing fluoride or something. Apparently, excess exposure has been known to cause arthritis, hyperthyroidism, and reduced IQ. And children who have this excess of fluoride because they're getting it at such a young age have developed dental fluorosis, which is poisoning of the tooth cells. So
Sick.
yeah,
So like your
Sounds
body
like a
can't
superpower.
produce its own. Does body produce fluoride? Or
I don't think so.
I don't.
What is
I'm pretty sure
they
no.
don't- It doesn't.
Pretty sure
produce it.
not.
so what is dental fluorosis? It just
Poisoning of the tooth cells.
Yeah, but what does that mean?
Too much fluoride in your teeth is bad.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Like they're swallowing and getting too much fluoride, so it's basically like the body's
Their
trying
teeth
to
become fluoride.
fight their
right.
teeth.
That's why I only drink Jack Daniels.
Sponsored.
I wish. Fucking hell.
After that, moving on
sponsorship.
from water to more water, we're gonna go on to Titanic. So the Titanic wasn't ready for its maiden voyage.
Hell no.
But the people who, the
Passengers?
owners of the Titanic,
Preach.
they
North
had
Star.
another boat called the Olympic that had already been previously damaged. It was going to cost $18 million to fix it. So they just fixed it up part of the way and then decided that they were going to
out.
push the Olympic out as the Titanic so that they could stop losing money, since the Titanic wasn't ready for its maiden voyage at the time. So the Olympic was made to be disposed of and to cover up fraud, but nobody was supposed to die. What?
Wait, no, I'm going to tag in on this one.
Oh yeah, it was like Eric leaned forward and did that. I was like, "What are you doing?"
J.P. Morgan was supposed to be on the Titanic, and then he wasn't. But many of his political rivals were that didn't want the Federal Reserve, and they died in the Titanic. And guess what we got? The Federal fucking Reserve.
That's all Alexander Hamilton's fault. Screw that dude.
Yeah, so apparently nobody was supposed to die. Like they were
Except
supposed
for
to have
everyone
a.
was supposed to die.
J.P. Morgan.
They were supposed
J.P.
to have
Morgan
a.
canceled his trip at the last
That's
minute.
what Zach's
He
saying.
was
Everyone
supposed
was-
to be on the boat, but he never got on because he knew it was going down.
Well, Mark Wahlberg was supposed to be on a plane that hit the Twin Towers.
Yeah, and God, man, sometimes I wish that he was.
Oh my God!
Aaron.
You can't say that.
That's awful.
Well, Mark Wahlberg's getting this removed.
We're getting
Should I cut
canceled.
that out?
just gonna. So was Seth MacFarlane. There was a couple of people.
There's a lot of people who were supposed to be on, which probably was all coincidence. So there was another boat to California
It's a
that was
joke.
close by, and they were supposed to come in and like get all the passengers off so that the boat could sink and it would be whatever. But while they were looking for icebergs, they overlooked another rescue vehicle that was nearby, or rescue vessel that was nearby, and they hit it.
Resicle.
And that's what ended up causing everybody to not be able to get off in time. Going on from that, we have another form of what?
Stupid, ridiculous.
Yeah, great.
What?
Never mind. Keep going.
You said everyone couldn't get off in time.
Oh. Moving on to another form of transportation, we have the Challenger shuttle disaster. So this happened in January 28th, 1986. Investigators blamed a defective O-ring, which caused fuel.
Jesus Christ. What is wrong?
dude.
Bro.
Sorry, continue. I'm trying.
It caused a fuel leak, and that's what ended up making the ship explode. But several lines of sabotage have been conspiratized, including terrorism, aliens preventing space exploration, or just a cover-up due to negligence.
Crying.
Jesus.
Trying not to laugh.
Bro.
Everybody shut up and listen.
Moving on from there, because there was a song about the Challenger, we're moving on to backward masking, which is playing songs in reverse that have hidden meanings. So apparently this has been used to brainwash children. The Beatles put Paul is Dead in one of their songs. Bowie and Meatloaf also put hidden messages in their songs.
What is wrong with you two? My favorite detective team.
What? I don't know. That was not even a thing. That one got me.
Jesus.
They're all against Bowie. I'm so lost now.
He's straight laced. Meatloaf is a pile of meat.
The concept was funny. And then I'm sitting over here watching this asshole cry.
Sounds like a law firm. Bowie and Meatloaf.
Did you get hurt in a car accident? Mesothelioma.
Bowie and
Call Meatloaf.
Meatloaf.
Meatloaf's here to help you.
Jesus.
Oh, sorry.
Okay. So they both had backwards masking in their songs. In April 1986, the Mr. Ed theme
also both
song.
said, I killed Paul, or Paul is dead.
Yeah, Paul is dead.
In every back mask song.
So in 1986, Mr. Ed's theme song was found that it says a horse is a horse, but if you played it backwards, it says someone sang this song for Satan. So people were pretty
Just someone?
upset about that they were
Some random
brainwashing
dude.
children. Parents actually sued Ozzy Osbourne and Judas Priest, claiming that backwards masking drove their kids to commit suicide.
Oh yeah, brother.
They clearly didn't win that.
Okay.
I mean, Ozzy had to cancel his tour. Maybe it was those parents.
Okay. Next we have zombies. Moving on from I don't know how I can connect backward masking with zombies, but there you go.
Zombie.
So in May 2nd, 1962, there was a man named Clairvius Narcissus. So he's from Haiti. He died at a Haitian hospital. He was buried the next day, but then he resurfaced in the 80s.
Wait, excuse me, what?
Yeah. So
Zombies
he
are
died in 1962.
Voodoo magic, basically,
Yeah.
is
He died
where
in
the
1962.
origin of zombies comes from. Is
But then-
voodoo.
Well, I knew that, but like, I don't But he came back not as a zombie, that he's just back.
Well, because zombies were basically just things that were revived,
Yeah.
and
They
then
were
it
able to
became the
revive
decaying
him,
flesh
is
and
what they
everything.
said.
Whereas originally it was just
Voodoo
using voodoo to bring back someone. Was the original zombie.
But I mean, he would have come back all fucked up, no?
He claims that
Not
his
if it's
brother
done
revived
correctly.
him with a voodoo priest, and that he was able to come back. Similar cases are actually well documented by Haitian physicians. There's several cases of this happening.
I'll have to look into that, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah, right?
Then there's the Bohemian Club, which is similar to like the Illuminati, Freemasons, that kind of stuff. It was founded in 1883. It's made up of secret world leaders, including presidents and the Rockefellers. Each July, it happens in Bohemian Grove in California. There's alleged photos of the club burning in effigy. But Alex Jones says he's seen more pictures, so I don't believe this one at all.
That's why I was making that face, because I was like, Alex Jones is your source.
Yeah.
I'm going to start a group called the Bohemian Club.
Alex Jones
that's-
supposedly went to Bohemian Grove.
No, the Bohemian Club.
No, I know.
Oh, but at Bohemian Grove.
Grove
That makes
is
sense.
where they-
Yeah. Yeah, I guess
so
he did say he went.
I don't
huh?
believe in that one because fuck Alex Jones.
I'm going to start a mom's group called the Bohemian Club.
so-
It's where moms who just killed a man.
Going back to my original theory that I wanted to go into a little bit deeper, we have the Men in Black. So
Flush me,
this
Jay,
is
flush me.
what,
Flush me, Jay, flush me.
and I'm like, nah. So the Men in Black are basically aliens that are coming to Earth and trying to keep alien information from getting out. So we actually have several cases of Men in Black visiting people and stopping them from getting this alien information out. The first case was in 1947. There was a cop that saw 6 flying saucers in the sky. One of the pieces of one of the saucers dropped to Earth, and he got a photo of it, but it actually got fogged. So the Men in Black came to his house and told him he can't let this photo out, and he said he was going to, and they touched the photo, and then it was fogged over. The Men in Black have been known to be men in black suits. They're
If they could do
very
that, why would they even like ask him nicely?
No, wait, did you back? Can I see that picture?
well. They're just like they were like threatening him at first, being like, if you get this out, we're going to
Uh-oh.
hurt you, your family, whatever.
So he stopped trying or whatever. Didn't try and convince people that.
Yeah.
Obviously he did, but
So they're known to be very, very tall men with white skin. They dress in black suits. They're expressionless. They're inhuman looking. They have no hair, so no hair on top, no eyebrows, no eyelashes.
I got it.
And they're known to have really bright red lips, apparently.
Do you think Andrew Tate is a Men in Black?
Maybe.
I mean, aside from the height and the hair, me.
Going back to what I was saying earlier, Dan Aykroyd actually has said that he's seen the Men in Black before.
Are you sure he wasn't thinking of the movie? He's like, I saw Men in Black. And people were like, oh my God.
First one.
So in 2002, he actually was going to come out with a show called Out There, which was exposing a lot of things about aliens, UFOs, things related to that kind of stuff.
Yeah, his liquor brand is. It comes in a crystal skull. He's super into the crystal skulls.
Yeah. So he's like very into all that stuff, and there was apparently a lot of compelling evidence in the show. He said one day while they were filming that a car appeared across the street. Like he just turned around and all of a sudden there was a car there. Not it drove up, but it just appeared in front of him.
That's weird.
There was a man in black that got out of the car, looked similar to how other people have described them. He gave him a dirty look, and then the car just vanished.
Wait, who gave who a dirty look?
The man in black gave Dan Aykroyd a
Okay.
dirty look,
I thought they wore sunglasses.
and then he just disappeared. No,
No, they don't have the neuralizers like in the comics.
it's not like the movie.
Well, yeah, but they don't have eyelashes or eyebrows.
Yeah,
Correct. They're hairless.
they're hairless.
Like,
That's
like
weird.
Hairless with very pale white skin.
they're
So they might be like gray
They're
aliens.
aliens.
dressed
They're
as-
alopecia
aliens, basically,
albinos.
that Stop people from
They're like
talking about
trying to
aliens.
dress up.
Or they're
to kind of
robots.
Fit in. So yeah, so this guy, the man in black, gave him a dirty look, and then the car vanished. A couple minutes later, he got a phone call from the producers, told him that he was not allowed to continue taping, that the show was canceled, and that they would never air.
Wow.
Yeah. So I kind of believe that one because that's just
Yeah.
insane. So, yeah, I also have a video from the Men in Black if we'd like to watch that real quick.
Yeah, let's do it.
All right.
Is it the beatboxing scene?
Get your goddamn.
Keep my wife's name. Keep my wife's boom chicka out of your mouth.
Keep your dick in my wife's mouth.
Whoa.
That's the video you played earlier.
Incorrect.
I don't think
What
so.
he said?
He said, keep fucking my wife's mouth.
Okay, sorry. I said basically the same thing.
You stick your whole 7-inch cock in my wife's face. Like, that's not what he said, bro.
We're watching the entirety of the insult.
No, I was just trying to
You're adding a lot of words in there.
the like, little clip.
I will. What if he was like, no, I will. You, Chris, I will. Stupid.
I'm trying to find it.
If you can't find it, we can just,
Yeah, it's just like
you can send it to us. We can watch it next time or
You
something.
can kind of see here. Just
Oh, wow. Those guys look crazy.
So there's a man standing in the kind of background here, and these men are much, much taller than him. They're very tall and large looking. This was another case of where somebody, these men walked into an apartment complex, knocked on his door, and told him, or threatening him, that he couldn't release this alien information that he had.
What's that trailer below it?
Some movie.
Okay, well, if that's what they look like, that looks like humans in or like aliens in a human suit.
Yeah.
Like a weird,
Yeah.
like the walrus suit from Tusk, but a human.
So I'll see if I can find the video and I can send it to you later, maybe. But
Yeah, that's crazy.
yeah. So yeah, that's all my conspiracy theories.
Dang. Well, this was a fun episode, guys.
Oh, yeah,
Learned
for
a
sure.
lot. There's a lot of crazy stuff.
Yeah.
Hopefully you guys found it entertaining. I know it was a little off the rails at times, but
That's all right.
and there was some audio issues. I apologize for that. But hopefully it was good. And I don't know. Does anyone else have anything to add?
Well, you know, it's time.
It's time for the Big Rig.
You sound like the guy from that PS2 game we used to play.
Omnigulia.
Yeah.
That's racist.
Spider-Man? Or the Omnigulia?
Yeah. No.
Oh, okay.
Is that not Crash? What are you talking?
No, they're doing it's like I don't even remember.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
I get videos for it on my
The Japanese cooking
YouTube.
game when he's like, Omnigulia! And you're chopping your fingers off and stuff?
Okay. I remember.
I was like, yeah, now
Yeah.
I remember
Chopping your
mainly-
fingers
I
off is
remember
what
the
gives it
part
away.
where you got to go through the maze.
I don't think you have any idea what we're talking about, Eric.
I also remember that, but I think it was connected to the same thing, but I could be way wrong.
I think
Are
you're
you
way
thinking
wrong.
of the PS1 game where the box keeps falling and you gotta?
No, which they did release as a remaster.
Yeah. Well, not a remaster.
PlayStation
they just-
collection or whatever.
Yeah.
But no, there was a game where you're moving through and the camera moves, and if you touch the side, it goes. But it was also like a Japanese.
Talking about Operation? That's a board game. Anyway,
I got a little high one night.
Okay, so my back rec for the month is going to be go to your local library and pick up a book.
Yeah, do some research of your own
So
on these topics.
I got this book from the library. I actually wasn't trying to find this. I actually just went to the true crime section, and this was just sitting on the shelf right before we were going to do this episode. So I got it from the library. I've tried to be more into reading books this year. So I'm also reading a really good one right now called John Dies at the End.
Heard of it.
Heard that's
spoiler
good.
alert.
It's a very good book. So yeah, I mean, if you don't love reading, audiobooks are a good option too. A lot of libraries offer that. It's just good to support your local library and get out there and read some books.
11, 22,
68.
63.
No,
63.
63.
Check that book. It's also good to support your local EZBS. So hit that subscribe button, leave a comment.
Yep.
Tell us if you want another conspiracy episode. We can probably make this happen again.
yeah,
Yeah,
I
we
know
can
we
definitely have more. We can, even if you wanted us to just zone in on
Yeah,
one
go more
topic,
in
we could
depth.
do that. So
Let us know what your favorite conspiracy theory we talked about today was. And
Or in general.
I
Doesn't
think
have to be that we talked about
I
today.
think next month we're going to be doing our 20th episode, which
yes,
is going to be another skit improv special thing. If
maybe
if
with,
that's what we're doing
with
again.
drinking.
Maybe I thought that was our 21st episode.
Oh yeah, because
Yeah, right?
Well, we'll see.
Becca just wants to drink.
But there's big things planned. It's almost Shane's birthday.
It's 10:30 in the morning and Becca wants to drink.
Yeah.
She's got to go to work.
Get lit.
You gotta.
She's got to go get her blood drawn. She
Exactly.
wants to dilute that shit so they can't take as much of it.
Yeah. The men in black are out to take my blood.
You gotta shave off your eyebrows first. I'm gonna go as the Men in Black for Halloween and just shave off
Oh my god,
all my facial
all
hair.
the hair.
I'll do that right now.
I wouldn't be able to look at you.
Bet. I'll hold you to that.
You do if you shave it. I'm not plucking my own eyelashes, but someone else is doing
them
it
at all.
I
Why would
have
you pluck
wax in
them?
my
because you
back.
can't have eyelashes. They're completely hairless.
Yeah, they don't have eyelashes.
Okay.
So I need to remove the eyelashes.
You can't shave them though. Why would you pluck them one by one?
I'm not putting no
Gosh,
razor near
Imagine
my eye.
shaving
Your eyelashes?
Yeah, just use a little.
What?
What are the electric?
I would rather
razors?
pluck it than
I
put a
don't think
razor
that's
near my
gonna work.
eye.
God, I hate that.
Obviously, don't use like a safety
That's a
razor or something,
bloodbath
but
waiting to happen.
What do you want me to use?
use the ones that you can like run your finger along, bro.
I get
Just
what
like
you
the
mean.
little.
To get the inside of the eye right
You're
there?
not going in.
Inside? What are you
Okay.
talking about?
If you're
If you have
that,
a razor
if you're that
you're going
hardcore,
past, it's going to get all of that. You're not going to be able to just get the little outside
All right,
part.
before this argument goes any further, I think we need
I'm
to
not a
wrap
perfectionist. I'll just put some Nair in my eyeballs.
there you go.
right.
Chemical burns.
All right. So read a book, and we will see you guys next
up next month.
time
Yeah, next time.
when
we
Eric
don't
decides to
know.
try his favorite drug, which is
Cocaine?
Whippets.
Oh, you talking about E?
Z
B
S.
E.
Z
B
S.
E?
Z
B.
S.
EZBS. I told you it was 3.
Yeah.
Yes, D3.
Well, I know.
Feels natural.
Whatever.
Feels natural.
Thank you, and we'll catch y'all in the next one.
Becca looks like a Hershey's Kiss.
She does.
That's what I'm going as for Halloween. That, or I can paint this a different color, and I can be Roz from.
No,
Monsters, Inc.
man.
Not where I thought you
We
were
keep
going.
that. We keep that. We put a
looks
little
like-
thing that comes out, and instead of saying Hershey's Kiss, it says something like JFK was assassinated by
By the government.
Ron Howard or something.
Like Ted Cruz's dad.
Not the
That's like a cornucopia. Now it does.
That's an elf.
Shave the eyebrows, shave the
Thank you.
your beard, I can pluck your eyelashes.
See, plucking is the way to go. Who the fuck would want to shave your
Who would want to
eyelashes off?
pluck? There's so many little hairs. Why would you pluck them one by one? That would hurt and take so long.
Yeah, right.
Well,
No, don't use
Put
a
it-
razor. Just use the little electric shavers that.
Yeah.
Still a razor.
Eye?
Or you could just not be a Men in Black.
Yeah, that might be the way to go.